Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 9. It's the 4.0 update, and we are on year 2262. Now, we're a little bit in the red here on our credits. The game calls it trade. I'm going to try very hard to get Paradox to rename it to credits and to change this from energy credits to just energy. But we're in the red, and here's the reason why. The primary reason that you're ever going to have this go red is because of this. Alloys have gotten expensive. Now they can get much more expensive than this. I see them go as high as 350 in recent games. I'm sure they can go even higher than that. Right now they're 236. There's also a 30% market fee because this is kind of a isolated market. We need the galactic market, which has better fees and which would take some of the stress off this. And fortunately, that's what's being voted on right now in the Senate. You can go to the community and see who is the current kind of person in charge of it, and it's the Prime Network. On the Senate floor, though, is formed the galactic market, and we definitely want to support this, so we want to get that passed, and in 104 days it'll be passed, and we should see some relief from that. In the meantime, a research agreement between the Prime and Network where we're going to get a pretty good bonus and they're going to get not as much of a bonus. I'll take that. Again, it cuts into our influence, but we just have to be patient with this then, and we get enough influence we can go in here and so what is this? Mindara. We can go in here and we can claim these places. And this is how claims work. I have a whole tutorial for claiming and for war in general. There's a bunch of different ways to wage war. I probably need to update that at some point in time, but it's all still relevant. It all still works. Unlike the planetary management tutorial I have up, my war one still works. When you bring up the claim screen, it'll show you this on enemy territories, and you have to click each one. And we can see, for instance, that clicking on this is going to cost us 80 influence to claim this. Now, all that does is say we have a claim on that, and if there's a war in the future, we want to try and take it and keep it. So you could see that getting to, for instance, their home system way over here at Cats is going to take a lot of claims, and they're going to get prohibitively more expensive as we go. So we're going to need a lot of influence to be able to claim that. What you need is a casus belli, a reason for war, a declaration, and one reason to do that is to say I want to achieve my claims on your empire. So that's one reason to do it, is to claim stuff. Another way is to say I want you to become a satrapy, and then you want to try to integrate them as a vassal. You want them to be a vassal for you, and they're going to give you money and food and minerals and maybe even some research and come to your defense if somebody attacks you. But eventually, if you want to, for some vassals, you can actually integrate them into your empire, and then all of this space would actually become our space. And for an empire like this, where at this point in the game our influence is really low and it's growing very slowly because we're using a lot of influence on defensive packs and commercial packs and research agreements and migration packs, that could be an issue. What I wanted to check was that my save game was where it's supposed to be. I actually made a hard save right as I was exiting the game last time, but it seems like when I loaded the save it was a little bit before then. Again, I'm having a little bit of issues with the way they're saving the game here, but we'll forge ahead and see how it works. Anyway, we're going to get 77 days now. We'll get the galactic market, but this is the claims is one way to do this, but I'm not sure it's going to be the best way to do it with these guys just because our influence is growing so slowly at this point. Now, we have traditions available. At the end of last episode, we finished expansion and we came over here and we said the flesh is weak and we want to do cybernetics. So now you have a chance to choose other traditions. Cybernetics, we can adopt this. At some point in time, it says, has the flesh is weak ascension perk, but has to have the integrated cybernetics technology, which we've not researched yet. So we have to choose something else. And this is about the time where, around picking the 4th tradition, that I like to start thinking about war traditions. And we have a couple of different ones. Supremacy is going to give us ship build speed, ship upkeep, naval capacity plus 20%, ship fire rate plus 10%, fleet command limit plus 20, another commander starting skill level plus 1, and damage to star bases plus 20%. This is all great. We like that a lot. Enmity is for rivals. So again, we mentioned last episode, we made our neighbors our rival and they rivaled us. So when somebody's a rival, that just means it's a declaration, but that doesn't mean anything unless you have stuff like this. Damage to rivals plus 15%. Well, that's kind of nice. Grants a 2% increase in research and unity output per rival for 10 years after winning a humiliation war. Diplomatic win opposing resolutions. We get ship build cost -5, ship build speed plus 10, while our military is weaker than a rival. And when our technology is weaker than a rival, we get research upkeep less 15%, and research lab build speed is 100% faster, and our worker output. So there are advantages to having a rival and you not being as powerful as them. I think what I want to do, this prosperity has a bunch of good stuff for resources from jobs and all kinds of things. And then there's also subterfuge. I kind of would like to go down this tree and get all this stuff, because you're going to get code breaking plus 1, operation skill plus 2. You're going to get encryption plus 1, defense against hostile operations plus 1, another envoy, maximum infiltration level goes up, which allows you to do a few more operations. And infiltration speed plus 50%, so it grows faster. I like all of this. I think my question is, can we get all of this really fast and then go into supremacy, or should we just get supremacy now? And that question is really going to come down to how fast or how slow is our influence going to work. And we have other people who don't like us, and they have equivalent to us, which is not good. And the Groknaporan hive mind, they still don't like us. So we have more than one threat here. We got the Velet state right next to us who hate us. So I think what I'm going to do for traditions is grab supremacy. I think it's probably important that we get that right now. Let's get this naval capacity and all these fun things that it helps with. So let's do that. And that's our reason for doing that. It's because we know that war is coming. War is peace and peace is war. And then 289 alloys is what we have, and we just need a lot more of that. So 25 days until the Senate passes the form of the galactic market. Currently this resolution will be passed. Overpopulation event chain. Sadly, the latest effort to add another Nema to Nema has failed. We could find no habitat spacious enough for such a massive beast to thrive. The scientists are not dismayed, however, and promise better results in the future. So we gained a bunch of research for that. So here comes the galactic market. Ding, ding, ding.
Situation log updated. Research complete.
So that starts that, and we'll see at the end of the month how it's going to affect our prices. Research station. So now we can get better lasers, which we're going to want to fight worms and other things with.
System survey complete. Council agenda ready.
And at the end of the month, this didn't really affect our price at all. What are we looking at for this still? 238. Okay. Market fee is still 30%. That's interesting. Okay. Because when what's it say about the galactic market? Yeah, it's just done. The previous game that I was playing on, when the galactic market formed, all of this got better. So I'm kind of surprised that it didn't here, but there you go. Okay, evolving society. What else can we do? Survey speed, which we don't really care about. Ship build speed, which we do. All right. Yeah, I was under the impression this would change quite a bit. Intel is falling in the Velet state, it says.
Research complete.
Let's go look at our espionage. We're not doing anything yet. I would like to grab another asset, but let's do gather information. We do have an asset. So there's operation skill and sabotage and military. Maximum infiltration level +5. but they're not going to adjust the operation modifiers. You can use them, but they're not going to affect the difficulty because there's only effect for sabotage and military. So I don't see a huge reason to do it, but we have them, so we're going to use them anyways. But you really need them to match this symbol over here, and instead he's part of sabotage. So we're going to want to go after another asset and try to get somebody that'll really help us with gathering information. That's going to be the most important thing, is just keep gathering information on them. So this person is a scientist, and they are currently governing the Landry, and it says if they are a counselor, docked ship upkeep is less and army upkeep is less. Council agenda speed. Oh, I want the docked. Do that. That'll be great. We got more research, starbase capacity +2, which is going to be important. Naval capacity from soldier jobs +2. This is going to be important. We're going to make sure that all of our planets have the naval building on it so they can get more naval capacity. That's one way that you can get this number to go really high. Obviously, there's a tradition that adds 100 to this number, and that's fine. But in the late game, you need really, really big numbers because you need gargantuan fleets. And a huge way that you're going to do that is by putting a building on here that we don't have on here right now. But it's, if I were to replace it right now, it would be this. So this will add to stability. But the big thing here is soldier jobs, 200. So as this is giving you soldier jobs, it's going to give you more naval capacity. So we're going to want to have those on our planets later. Anyway, back to the research. Starbase capacity. What else do we have? The Autochthon Monument, another building we can put down that adds a lot of unity for us. Regenerative hull tissue, which is kind of nice to have. Our Edict Fund, which we haven't really used a lot yet. And then Form Federation, which we could do with somebody else. I'm not in a big hurry to form a federation myself or be in one with anybody else right now, so it's not a huge thing. The Xenobiology Lab, biologists turn consumer goods into society research. That's nice, but I think this is going to give me another official, another commander, and another scientist. I like that, but let's go naval capacity from jobs. Why don't you move down here? Or better yet, why don't you move... yeah, here. A group of auxiliary operatives in the Velet status begin shying away from their assigned tasks, citing a lack of confidence in their overall purpose. Spy Master Edzai would typically handle such matters without bringing them to our attention, but even without them knowing any details, these operatives seem unusually well informed about Operation Gather Information, and perhaps the spy network as a whole. Given that these auxiliaries are kept isolated from our more active and better informed agents, Edzai suspects the operatives are being fed information from an outside source. She also concedes that they may simply be highly perceptive individuals. Given these doubts and the threats posed to Operation Gather Information by each scenario, Spy Master Edzai requests a directive on how to proceed. The risks are too great. Cut them loose, and this will add to your operation difficulty for your dice roll for the next 12 months. Or we can say we have a 9% chance to get unwavering insight and a 90% chance for panicked operatives. Well, panicked operatives. Our auxiliary operatives in the Velet state have reacted with horror upon learning the truth of their once intangible suspicions. Spy Master Edzai revealed only a glimpse of the bigger picture to them, but it was sufficient to disrupt our supply line. So now no matter what, we get lost auxiliary operatives modifier for 12 months. So all our difficulties for 12 months are +2. Not great. So what we could do is we could go in here and we could say, well, that's kind of wasting some time. If we wanted to, we could abort this, which I'm going to do. And then we're going to go try to gather another asset instead. Again, this guy doesn't really help with that, so... but we're going to grab him. And it's got a difficulty of 7. And if we're going to have a +2 to gather information, then we might as well try to acquire an asset. That's my thinking. Pre-faster-than-life alien civilization on Nirim 3 has discovered how to make use of simple chemical reactions to produce explosive force. This has revolutionized warfare with large cannons, rendering many of their citadels obsolete. The use of explosives has also benefited their engineering projects, as troublesome obstacles can now be more easily removed. Even now, their chemists are experimenting with creative applications of this technology. We shall see how they use it. So we got that going on. We got all these astral harvesting, but we don't have the tech for it yet. So we'll see about that. Losing 33 a month over here. What else can we do? We can sell a little bit more energy if we wanted to. And we could sell a few more minerals. And see how that helps us. But really, it's just getting down to the point where we need people to grow. So these are civilians, and they're going to be droids, of course, right? Because they can't work these strata of jobs up here in the specialists. So we have droids on this planet that can't work. And that begets the question, what would we like to do with them? They have to work one of these three kinds of jobs here. Now, the thing I don't know is if they can work clerk jobs. I think they may be able to work clerk jobs, but I don't really want to put them in commercial zones. Traders, the trader jobs. I don't think they can work traders. These used to be clerks. So I think what I would like to do on this planet, let's see. Look, we've used 1 of 21 for cities and only 6 here for mining districts. So I'm thinking we should make the rest of them farmers, because you're only going to need 3 or 4 city districts to have enough housing for all your populations by the time that you fill up all of this. And we probably eventually would like to take mining support and turn it into something else that we can add 3 buildings on, maybe even more mixed industry. So let's build some agriculture there so that we don't have any unemployed droids. Then over here, we're fine. These guys are all at work, and the only thing left to do is there's some medical worker jobs and some metallurgist jobs here. So, and this has, we can build more generator districts. So let's build that because they're about to tap out. Look, they're really full. They're getting almost all their technicians are done. On our next planet, there's plenty of workers here, miners that aren't mining. So we don't have to worry about that. And there's a whole bunch of jobs up here that are not being worked. Actually, and these guys don't have, they do have robot assembly plants, but nobody's assembling. Why don't we do this? We're going to move that over there. Let's at least assemble robots and put those people to work. And here on our farms part, we can start applying new buildings. So when you create a specialization here under one of these districts, you have 3 building slots. This is a choice that you can make. There are different things you can do here based on your research. In our case, we chose the simplest thing, which just allowed us to add 3 more buildings. And we have a very small selected group of buildings. You can add the crop development hub, which will let you add 2 more agricultural districts. And since each agricultural district creates a certain number of jobs, like 200 jobs or something like that, then it's a good idea to add this on here and get 2 more districts. Food processing facilities is going to give you 20% more from your farmers. And then this hydroponics farms is also going to create 200 farmer jobs. So this is the question for me is, I mean, you want more districts, I think. And then this is just storage. I think you want more districts for sure. So let's do that. And then let's go check the next one. This place has almost maxed out farmers working here. So we can build another one of these, and it has a specialization available. So again, right now we have 2 specializations. There may be more later in the game, depending on what your technology is. This biological research support, we need the neural weaving technology. You can see at the bottom, it's X'd because we don't have that. If you had that, it would provide farmer jobs and biologist jobs, and it would also give you 3 building slots. This one is going to give you 3 building slots and 100 farmer jobs. So the difference is you're getting half as many farmer jobs, but you're getting more biologist jobs to do more research. This would be a good thing to have. We just don't have the tech for it. So we'll wait to do agricultural focus because we may be able to get this before we need it, because we still have this district here and one more that we can do. This is a brand new planet. Hardly anybody's on it yet. It's got a 2%. It's got produced per 100 farmers is +2, and pop food upkeep -200. So, and it's a crappy planet for minerals and for building anything. So we just got to wait for these people. We got to wait for this to speed up, because it's making this, but it's not making a lot of this. We could switch this over. We don't need colonists. We can switch everybody over to food, but still it's a little long way from being able to tap that out. So, and then back to Elandria, our homeworld. So that's how I tend to take care of my planets. I roll through them like that. This is different than before 4.0. I pay a lot of attention to this screen now, this tab, and I roll through my planets and I look at what jobs are being worked and which ones aren't being worked. How close are we to having them maxed out, and what can we build to start taking advantage of things. Now here on this planet, it's pretty much maxed out for people. And it's also got a maximum number of robots, really. So what we could do is we could replace a couple things. We could take the robots on here and we could replace them with a stronghold. So this is going to give us 200 soldier jobs, and that's going to increase our naval capacity. And that's probably a very good thing to do here. And then also, if we go up here and look at strategic resources, we have +1 exotic gas and +2 volatile motes, and you can get more of these later. So what you can do is raise this building up, and it costs, you can see the upkeep cost at the top. It says 5 energy and 1 gas. So this gives you more jobs than the standard research building. The standard research building gives you 60 jobs for physicist, biologist, and engineer, for a total of 180 jobs. But now, if you do this, you get twice as many, 360 jobs. So for 1 additional gas, as long as you have the gas to spend on it, you can get twice as many jobs on these, which is great. So we're going to do that. And then something I like to do is make sure that somewhere in here on one of these buildings, on every planet, I want to put a specialist building. So our commercial zones right now are making a lot of trade, and I don't want to get rid of them, but that is something that I'm going to want to do down the road. We also don't have enough amenities. So administrative offices are making 18 unity. I think what I'd rather do is replace that with some more amenities, make my people happy. Let's do that, because that's going to give us 2,500 in job production which is more than going to cover the 1.4K that we're missing. So let's do that, and then we'll take a hard look at, if the people are happy, do we have any crime? Can we replace the precinct house with something else? Because this is what's helping bring down crime. So we'll see what we can do there. Now we got the Sentinels. Something has gotten into the archaeologists. The excavation thus far has been impeded by freak accidents, injury, and misfortune, and now even senior researchers with decades of field experience are blaming the Sentinels. Overcome with superstition and paranoia, they claim the statues move about when no one is watching, yet there is nothing to suggest their jointless limbs are even capable of motion. Matter spun further out of control when traces of biomatter, indicative of heavy bleeding, was found lodged within a series of tiny cuts on the terminal portion of the Sentinel. Whether the Sentinels are just a convenient scapegoat or there is more sinister explanation remains to be seen. So that's that. We've maxed out this again, and we can celebrate diversity, which will get you xenophile ethics attraction on your planet. Unity, and we'll gain a bunch of unity from doing this. So sure, let's do it. Artifact analysis, search for a specimen. Sure, let's see what we find. We get this. Memorial stone. It's rare. It adds 10 to our engineering research. But we got to get a grand archive first, and we don't have it. So I had moved this guy over here to Elandria, and he's building the grand archive, and he's at 39% done. So when he's done with that, we can actually start to activate those things. Sentinel droids. The excavations carried out by our archaeologists on Mena 3 have semi-activated several ancient Sentinel droids. Luckily, Hask Janat and the nearby security escort managed to neutralize the hostile robots before they could seriously injure anyone. That was close. Okay, and then up here we get available leader traits for head of research. Mr. Spock gets yet another one. Archaeology skill, sublight speed, adventurous spirit. This trait has no effect while the leader is on the council. Yeah, but he's excavating a site, so we're going to give him an archaeology skill +2. He's on the council, but he is actively out in the field. Naval capacity from jobs. And here's another way you can get more naval capacity. But again, this is 25. It's a nice little boost, but you can get so much more by putting those soldier buildings down. And that's why I like to say that. Now, here's another way we were talking about at the very beginning of this episode about coming down here and laying claims down here and how cost prohibitive, how expensive they were. As you go through the research tree, you can get some of these. Interstellar campaigns, claim influence cost -10%. So that's a good thing to do. Crime and amenities. Okay, we have a little crime problem on our planet, and we would like some more amenities, and I would like to eventually be able to not have to have that building of enforcers on there. So let's grab that and see how it starts to affect our empire. We got these klepto rats, and I really want to. Hask Jonat is working on it, so hopefully he figures it out. Now, the Sentinels. Science Officer Mr. Spock has gone missing. No! He was last seen leaving the camp at sunset to find a tranquil spot to consider the Sentinels. In the days leading up to his disappearance, he raised concerns about the safety at camp, following a growing number of accidents, and we fear that he may have abandoned his mission in protest. That is disconcerting. Spock, where'd you go? No. Oh, no. I think he'll come back, but I'm not sure. We may need someone with archaeological skill to get him back. Hask is busy. This person is on science ship automation. Where are you at? Gottfried. Gottfried, where are you at? You're way over there. Okay, that's a long way, and I love that you're going and doing those things. But I need you to deal with this over here. So, Gottfried, get over here and start excavating this site. You've been recalled. And then we have open council position because Mr. Spock is gone. Okay. Who's more likely? Planet governing effects, leader lifespan. Science ship effects, dock ship upkeep as a counselor. Yes, give me that. You are now a counselor. That'll help. Corvette hull hit points are more. And we can get the Star Fortress. Okay. We can also get civilian fabricators and a recirculation center. The recirculation center upkeep from artisans -20%, and it costs 2 crystals. Civilian fabricators cost 2 crystals, but the artisans turn more consumer goods out as a result. The automation building, automated workforce for this district +25%. Planetary infrastructure build speed. Let's do that. Let's speed that up a little bit. We're getting very, very close to being in the black again there. I'm getting 40 of those a month. I want to finish this dig down here, though, because I want to colonize that planet and get the rubricator. Let's go see how our espionage efforts are. We are currently in in stage 1? Yep, stage 1 to 3. So next phase ends, and we rolled a dice and didn't get what we need. So it's going to keep going. Asset is assigned. Senate is now in session. What are they voting on this time? Cooperative research channels. Diplomatic weight from tech is +20. Research station output is +10. And starbase upkeep is +5. We'll definitely support that. So we like that. Now, out of curiosity, what could we do with this empire right here, right now? Diplomacy. we wanted to declare war, we would only be fighting them. When we could fight them to make a tributary and subjugate them. War is waged to subjugate the enemy as a tribute. The difference between a vassal and a tributary is just going to give you tribute. All they're ever going to do is be an inferior empire to you that's kind of attached to you as like a vassal, except for the difference is a vassal can eventually, after 10 years, be integrated into your empire, which means you get all of their nodes, all of their systems. A tributary only ever just gives you stuff. We are witnessing the inhabitants of Erum 3 taking their first steps towards enlightenment. They look upwards, opening themselves to the mysteries of the universe. As artistic expression develops within their culture, so does art's power to capture the spiritual striving of their society. They yearn for something beyond themselves to believe in. Interesting. Hands-off approach modifier added for 12 months. Gains 25% more observation, insight, progress. Or we can gain a bunch of society research. Acknowledge to take the society research. I do want to make them a vassal. I think it's going to be the most effective way to go after them. But I would like to finish the espionage first. And I'd like to just have this number keep going up. The Priman Network has declared the Velet State their rival. Outbreak? Oh no. A novel zoonotic disease has appeared on Cursa. Without the medical technology required to combat the infection, the population is quickly succumbing to misery and death. We could promote the disease. What's Cursa like? They're in the Steam Age. It's a size 15 planet. It's got moderate... It's got a lot of mining districts and it doesn't have any kind of penalties or advantages. It would be another planet for us. Situation approaches to promote the diseases will have the following effects. The plague offers a unique opportunity for research and perhaps even the chance to purge the planet of sentient life. Once selected, we will be unable to change this approach. Yes, let's promote the disease. Let's see if they're smart enough to wear masks. All right. My goodness. Mass death. As the plague continues to ravage Cursa 4, the number of dead and dying is staggering. There is no cure. Further suffering can only be alleviated, not prevented. Wow, we'll see what happens. Let's go. So it's up here. It's got a progress bar. I like this. They added this. I want to say with the 3.0 update, but I might be wrong. I like that they added this, though, for events that are ongoing. You get a progress bar and you get to see what's going on, and I like that a lot. Veteran leader. This is our chancellor. They can get diplomatic agreement influence upkeep or trust cap. Oh, no, we want the trust cap. Give us the trust cap. Make the trust cap higher. Get people to trust us and trust us a lot. You'll trust us that you're not a primitive species and we won't promote your plagues. Yeah, I really want to go to war with these guys. I think that's going to be... We can make them a vassal. That would be great. And I would love to be able to show off vassalage and integration in this playthrough because it's one of my most favorite things to have happen in the game. He's 70% into building the Grand Archive, so... That's promising. This is one of those rare lulls, and it feels like the calm before the storm. What I would like to do as well is get a second fleet going on. You guys are golden, and we said what?
Agenda available.
We said their fleets are inferior. Oh no, their fleet power is equivalent. Okay. There's a couple of different things that we can do here. What is this? At least one of your planets has low stability. Sol X. Why does it have low stability? People are not happy. Okay. Well, then we'll have to fix that. Let's fix that. And then what do you have right now? Because all you have are specialists and workers doing farming. Okay. All right. All right. We will get you some stability. You got crime from Pops. Stability is not good, but we are currently researching something that will help with that. Technology. Yeah, crime right here. Artificial moral code. So we'll see how that works out too. Yeah, I want to start building another fleet because if we can get a second fleet up. Question is, what do we have? We have 6 of 9 starbase capacity. Okay, and what's going on over here? We have this and a transit hub. Okay. I think what I want to do is at The Last of Us, I want to turn this into a starbase where we can put a bunch of shipyards on it. Kleptomatic rats. At the very center of the city overlooking the main square is a grand, ostensibly decorated palace with a garish neon sign advertising the Empress Motel. Inside it are lavish chambers filled to the brim with treasure from which the Empress and her board of trusted advisors governed. It's also where the hoarders held their last stand, defending their Empress and her precious rubricator. With any luck, the rubricator can still be found in its usual spot by the Empress's lilac ribbon. Let's hope so. That would be good. We would like that. You have one leader who needs to be put to work. We have a couple. Minister of Defense, which we need. Okay, so we're gonna get.
Fleet detected.
Whoa, where? What? Void worms? Where? No, you're right next door to us, you bastards. 2,300. Okay, you guys need to move. Mining drones class. Let's go in here and very quickly try to change you to worm class. Upgrade you. I don't like this. You guys are gonna. Yeah, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna attack Janus, aren't you? You punks. Yep, there they come. Okay. So what we're gonna do is start moving bubbles as well. Bubbles. Move. Go right there. So, survival of the fittest. Our efforts to promote the plague and curse have borne fruit. The contagion is running rampant and the dead are left to fester in the streets. However, a significant percentage of the population possesses a natural immunity to the disease. Further study of the genome could be useful in our own immunology research. Excellent. Okay. Well then, we'll take that.
Ships upgraded.
You boogers. See, and I didn't build a station for defense here because I was like, oh, these guys are our friends. And now we're going to pay for that. With these stupid worms who are going to thwart my desire here to get things done. Who is this? This is the next continuance. And they've got stuff on this other side that's just there for the taking. Okay. How are you guys doing? Are you done? Shipyard's done. Okay, let's go. Let's move. I need you guys over here as quickly as possible. Let's boogie. Well, it's not going to be open warfare against our neighbors this episode, but it is going to be let's go kill the space worms. And then this location, Last of Us, when it gets upgraded, we'll create shipyard there. And you are 88% away from the Grand Archives. Okay. Research agreement by somebody, the Julians. Asset acquired. Yes! Okay, let's see if it's a good asset. Let's see if it's a different asset than the one we already have. That's what we're looking for. Yes! No, wait a minute. No, it's the same. Oh, what horrible luck for us. Okay. Bummer. Okay. That's fine. You know what we're going to do? We didn't get the asset we wanted, and we don't have any information on them. Their fleet power is inferior, though. Let's do this. We're going to go to diplomacy. We're going to harm relations. We're going to say... I don't have anybody free. The Grok Neploran entity. The Grok Star regime kind of likes us, don't they? They do. They're 688 because we continue to make them happy. Their fleet power is overwhelming compared to us. And we have a defensive pact with them, and so we need to keep that. I got an idea then. What we're going to do, it's going to be really hard to get these guys to declare war on us, but we're going to. We're going to insult them. And then we're going to do as much as we can to make them mad and want to come attack us. Because if they attack us, then the people we have defensive pacts with will join in with us, which is what we want. Losing energy credits.
Research complete.
Because we're selling too many. We completed the research for automated building and planetary infrastructure build speed. We can get 3 levels of plus steel armor, and we can get destroyers. And afterburners. Okay. Let's get the destroyers up. Open borders from the Jamoran Associated Sons. Look at those guys. They look stellar. We're getting plenty of food, so we can sell a little bit more. These guys, what are you doing? Are you just slowly attacking Janus? You are. Okay. Bubbles, what are you doing? You're so slow. Bubbles, what are you doing? I told you to get down here. I wanted to have you join in with the rest of the fleet, you ding dong. Okay, so what you can do is you can tell it, follow these guys. You can say follow them, and it will do its best to catch up and follow them. Low stability on Sol X. I know, we're working on it. Stop. Stop reminding me. The High Curator Obrazan. We have received information that you built a grand archive capable of supporting attendance on a massive scale. This is a commendable initiative in sharing our galaxy's history with all who seek such knowledge. We share common goals in this respect. We are interested in helping you pursue this endeavor. Continue to expand your collection, and we will in turn offer our support however we can. Very well. Okay. So the Grand Archive must be done. Enhanced immunity. The sample we obtained from Cursa 4 has already paid scientific dividends. The mutation that provides immunity against the plague appears to be capable of warding off most known forms of contagion. It will take time to apply this research, but the initial results are more than encouraging. Excellent. Okay, let's go see about our Grand Archive. This is in Discoveries, so now we can activate these things. It's going to make our empire size spread go up, but this one would give you planetary infrastructure build speed. This one would give you ship damage, space against space fauna. No, space fauna ship damage. So if we have ships that are made of space fauna, they'll do 3% more damage. Index of knowledge is going to give us physics research. Okay, so 36%. And it's going to have a base upkeep cost. This is the thing. We can't really afford the upkeep cost of any of these right now, because ours is 0. And we're not in the black. So let's wait a little bit and see what we can do, and then we'll try to go do that. So right here, the Sentinels. The compositional analysis of the Sentinels has revealed that they are made from an unknown hybrid metal ceramic composite. Such a material could not have been forged by a prehistoric society, yet preliminary readings suggest they predate all known civilizations on Masawam. Unfortunately, the scanners cannot yet pierce the Sentinel's metal coating. That sounds ominous. Okay. The zoonotic plague is just about complete. Get you guys over there and get Bubbles over there. Where's Bubbles? Bubbles, are you making it? Hurry up, Bubbles. Get over there. I would like to be able to put the kibosh on these guys because they're doing untold damage to Janus. 5% destruction. That's not good. Orbital bombardment. Don't like. Not happy. You guys don't have any... Not that you could do anything about it right now because you don't have the people to work the jobs, but you need some stuff. Automation workforce. For automated workforce for this district. Building upkeep per automated district. Plus 10. Okay. And what's it do? Assembly patterns plus 25. Infrastructure build speed. what we really want is the holotheaters. Incoming transmission. The Jagan Free Warriors. Oh, you want tribute. Okay. 500 minerals. Alright, that'll keep you at peace. The Galactic... Okay, here we go. The Galactic Market. It took some time. The resolution got passed, but it's not formed yet. Alright, the center of the Galactic Commerce has manifested in the Edixis system. Oh, so I think we needed to do something in... We need to do something in the situation log to try to become the head of the Galactic Market. Okay. Let's see what happens at the end of the month when the numbers hit then. Contraband seized on Elandria. 20 gases. And that, look how that changed it. So because of the market fee and everything, the way it changed all the prices and stuff, now we're making 250. That's awesome. So we can sell a little bit more food. We can afford to buy. Cancel that. We won't need it. Let's see what we can do here. Missing archaeologist. Mr. Spock's belongings, including his mind gazer, a device used to isolate the mind from outside interference, have been found on a ledge overlooking the Sentinels. Sticks forming a half-finished outline around one of the statues suggest he may have diverted from his exercise to mark its position. His flashlight and scanner were discovered crushed under a shattered piece of the Sentinel's wing. The scanner has been modified in a peculiar manner. Perhaps it could help us pierce the Sentinel's protective layer. If we wish to find Mr. Spock alive, we must divert extra resources to the search, as his chances for survival in the wilderness diminish drastically every day. Spare no expense. Find him. Actually, I didn't really want to do that. It cost me a lot of influence to do that, but let's see if it brings him back alive. Now, over here. Ship build speed. Yes, please. We want that. Okay. You guys are about there, and where's Bubbles? Bubbles is so... Bubbles, you're so slow. Okay, Bubbles, we're not gonna bring you over there. You're just way too slow. Order restored on Elandria. That's good. So, that's good. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Crime from Pop jobs minus 75, and from Pop says 53 in a criminal underworld. So we have a criminal underworld. 1 criminal job per 33 planet crime. There are decisions that you can do. Well, we don't have any right here. Sometimes you can negotiate with criminals that does something. You can distribute luxury goods. I don't care about that. Send artifacts to the museum. For a base 100 minor artifacts, we can get resources produced from bureaucrats plus 20. Let's do that. Alright. You bozos. How are we looking for Pop jobs? We got this criminal down here. Okay. Well, that means we're going to leave the precinct houses here for a while. What we might change is the commercial zones, though, because the trade is now off the charts. We could replace that with something. For instance, the thing we could replace it with is an exotic gas refinery, because then that would give us way more gases, which would allow us to start raising up all of our research buildings. Yes, let's do that and see what happens. Fountain of Youth. The plague on Cursifor has finally run its course. More importantly, our study of the population's enhanced immunity is complete, and a choice must now be made. Should the benefits of this research be applied exclusively to our ruling class or the population as a whole? Increasing the longevity of our leaders is certainly attractive, while a grateful populace carries blessings of its own. If we give it to our leaders, rejuvenated leadership modifier added, leader lifespan plus 15 years. We gain progress towards our next insight technology, 2095 society research. Our population comes first. Biological pop happiness, 10%, and lithoid pop happiness. I'd rather my leaders live longer. They get experience, and their experience turns into traits, and we want to keep those, so we're going to do that. UV laser. Research alternatives. Give me the research alternatives. Now, the Sentinels. Mr. Spock has been found unconscious and badly injured. hiding in the underbrush below a natural rock formation, with a datapad covered in blood tucked under his arm. He was rushed to the hospital and treated for severe brain injury indicative of blunt trauma by impact from above. Though his condition is now stable, he still suffers from memory loss and has no recollection of how he sustained his wounds. Splinters of the unique metal alloy from which the sentinels are sculpted were lodged in his parietal cranial bone. All he remembers is hiding from someone and subsiding off what little the land had to offer. However, his notes contain some helpful information. Okay. And his leader lifespan is minus 40 years. Well, you guys, are you ready? Let's go. Let's go take those worms out. That would be a proper way to end this episode. Mr. Spock, you're back. Your lifespan is going to be shorter. You're excavating an archaeological site, and Godfrey is now doing what? Godfrey. So we have the Sahara, which is a construction vehicle. Cortez, which has Mr. Spock on it. Tachyon, which has Hasak. And Godfrey, you need to have this one. So, right here. Okay, Godfrey, I want you to go back up here and survey that system. And then that system. And then that system. You're back to surveying. Thank you for coming and helping. Find Mr. Spock. Let's go see what the war is going to look like. Ruined Mega installation. What's it going to take to repair it? 15,000 alloys. Wow. You guys. Kill him. Kill them all. There they go. The worms are dead. All dead, the worms. Okay. Good job, you guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you over here to Lethas Station. This place is going to be raised up. That's going to be your new home. That's going to be your home base. Go there. And then we are going to start building a second fleet over here. So build me... I don't know which kind to build here. Let's build the worm class ones. Let's build those. The Radiant Core. The archaeologists have reconstructed Mr. Spock's modified scanner, set to pierce deeper within the statue's hybrid composite material. It has picked up on the weak radiation emanating from their cores. To investigate further, it would be necessary to break one of the sentinels open, very likely destroying it in the process. Since one of the statues has already lost part of its wing, our archaeologists recommend starting with that one. Open the sentinel carefully so we can reassemble it. Do not desecrate the sacred object. This will get a spiritualist ethics attraction. We don't want that. Dismantle the statue and salvage the alloy. We'll do it carefully so we can reassemble it. Let's see what happens. The music is going off. It's a little too much. That's usually how I know it's the last episode, though. I mean, it's the last few minutes of an episode. Now, wait a minute. Cortez, what are you doing? Where are you? Hold on. Tachyon is where? What are you doing? I need you to come over here and excavate the site. We still want this relic world, you turkey. You came over there to Nema to help with that? You guys are moving back here. That's great. Yes, I want you to repair your fleet. No. Repair your fleet over here. Over there. Resolution has passed cooperative research channels. So here's where you can see what all has passed. Cooperative research channels, diplomatic weight from tech, and research station output at the cost of increased starbase upkeep, which is not a bad deal. So Cortez, what the hell are you doing? You got no orders. Go excavate that site over there.
Council agenda available.
Great. Okay. I think we're where we need to be for right now. We're starting to build another fleet. We're going to be able to assign our Minister of Defense to that fleet so they're not bored. And we are going to assemble as much of a fleet as we can, and then we're going to try really, really hard to get these guys to attack us. Or we're just going to declare war on them and go take them as a vassal if we can get our fleets overwhelmingly more powerful than them and they still don't have any alloys. It says their fleet power is inferior to us right now. If we were to declare war on them, they got nobody on their side. So we would do vassalization. That's what we're going to do next episode. We're going to try to get this fleet completely built and we're going to go after them. I think now is the time to do it. So you guys are repaired. Upgrade. Why are you going there to upgrade? Stay here. Set that as your home base. Now go back. Oh, wait a minute. You only need to go here. Never mind. Oh, this place. Never mind. Shipyard. I'm a complete idiot. Okay. You guys set this as your home base. And once these get built, then you'll be able to do your upgrades there. Okay. Jeez. Bonehead me. All right, folks. What are you thinking so far? Stellaris, yeah? Lots of fun. We have a ton of money up here in trade. We're not doing as many minerals now. I kind of don't want to sell that many minerals. I want to always have a constant store of them near our max because we want to make buildings. But what I would like to do is buy more of this. So before we go this episode, let's see how many more we can buy. They're 77. They're dirt cheap right now. We should buy as many as we can. During peace times, when there's not a war going on and not a lot of people are buying them on the market, you want to buy as many as you can. A xenobiological lab, produce from farmers. We get the automated agri-complex. Yes, let's grab that. Okay. So that's where we'll leave it. Plenty to do, lots of fun, folks. You know, I appreciate you so much watching this channel. I've really appreciated seeing all the feedback on the first episode. Everybody really excited to see me go back to this series. It is kind of the game that made the channel, so I understand that desire, and I'm just happy to play it and try to be informative about the play. There are tutorials coming. I'm putting things together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Folks, I'll see you next time. You know the drill. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your questions, comments down below. Until next time, happy gaming, everyone.